tropical paradise. Owned by the company's founder, Tyson Williams, the island is used by Haven as a combined headquarters and client entertainment center. Current and potential clients are ferried to the island and treated to the very best the Maldives have to offer. Michelin star chefs, a full massage spa, private huts, exercise facilities, and all the comforts of a luxury island resort are made available to them. 47. We'll be sending you in as a potential new client. We've put together a convincing cover story. You're Mr. Reaper, a thief for hire looking to disappear for a while. Your mission on the island is simple. You need to eliminate the three owners of Haven. Tyson Williams, founder and rumored tyrannical CEO of Haven. Ludmila Vetrova, a former confidence artist hired by Williams to serve as a client recruiter and handler. And Stephen Bradley, technical wizard and the brains behind Haven's proprietary software platform.
With the owners gone, Olivia will be able to penetrate the Haven servers long enough for her to secure the new partner identities.
I've uploaded all the information we have on the island and the three targets. Best of luck, gentlemen.
I don't rely on luck.
Well, a little wouldn't hurt.
Does not pick it up, and now we do have my audio. Great. See, well, it's a pretty big game. Winners bracket round 5, semi-final of the tournament here. TimeCube versus DaniButa. For this big occasion, I'm joined by GK Punk. Hello.
Hello.
I hope you're good to be here, and us two. Well, we've had our experience against the TimeCube. It wasn't a good one for me. I'm not sure. I don't know if I watched your game with him or not, but I mean, what a rookie he's been so far.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very clean. Definitely gave me a run for my money. In the end, Hitman won, but the first two maps I played, I was completely caught off guard because he was just fast and clean.
Yeah, I know, and he has been as impressive as ever. You know, he started off the group stage and he came third in his group in that group F, I'm pretty sure it was, with Buff and Hitman, with being the two people that actually beat him in the groups. He racked up 30 points, winning 5, losing twice. So then, you know, he came to the winners bracket here. He started off with Sparkles, and I mean, it's just been 6-4 after 6-4 after 6-4 for him. Of course, he beat me 6-4. He then beat Yonini, beat him 6-4, then beat yourself 6-4. So he has been very impressive, and you know, he's a very good rookie and arguably the best we've had since Danny last year, who is his opponent today. And of course, Danny, well, he's been impressive as always. Also came third in his group. Didn't have the group stage he wanted to. He was swept for the first time in the group stage by Throat. In what, 5 tournaments he's been swept once. It's crazy. And of course lost to Mika as well, but I mean, he's come to the KO stage here with good intentions. I mean, he's only dropped 3 maps in 4 games, you know, which is really impressive. Sweeping Rustle, who we thought arguably would be better than TimeCube, but unfortunately, you know, he had a rough end of the draw, didn't he? Having played DaniButa then. Fanium, then he'd gone and beat Blythe, Observer, and Mika 6-2. So both players, they ain't had an easy run here, and both very deserving of why they're here. It says, goes to the match team. We're kicking things off on Haven Island. What do you think of this pick from TimeCube, GK?
TimeCube's picks are a bit like hard to predict. When I was just thinking about it myself,
Yeah,
it's just probably something he's gonna be you'll see him just do it very cleanly and straightforward.
Mhm.
Unless there's like a super weird spin that comes up, we'll probably just see standard, and it's just gonna be pace versus cleanliness basically for roulette,
Uh-huh.
whichever one will prevail.
Yeah, I know you're right about that. I think that with my roulette games I played, the hardest pick I've ever had is what to pick against time. I just didn't have a clue on what to pick. I've watched his group stage games. He's so clean on every map. And this Haven pick, rookie picking Haven in this big of a game, it does show good signs. But I mean, Danny's got the stats to back him up, back himself up here. He's been here what 12 times, winning 7 of them occasions, losing 4, tying once. And it's just been Danny. Again, Danny's you don't know what to pick against Danny because you're picking your poison against Danny. Like you're basically against Danny, you've lost half the time. You can try your hardest, but he's just so good of a player. It's gonna be a very tough challenge for TimeCube today. And everyone's saying that they've got the identical layouts. They've got their crowbar and the breacher the wrong way round, and they've got different breaches. So actually, is it really the same? I don't think so. But I mean, we've had our fair share of Haven this tournament. It's been played quite a lot, which is it's a bit different to other tournaments. This is one of the lower played maps normally, but actually it's had a huge resurgence here. Well, what have you made of all the Haven we've seen?
Well, what the record got broken at least twice in the same tournament.
Yeah.
So I think Haven is getting figured out now. We'll probably see more and more record being broken for even Danny himself. Speaking of records, how many records did he break this tournament?
Oh, it's stupid amounts. I mean, he got the Son of Fortuna. That Son of Fortuna record is going to be hard to beat that what he got.
Yeah, that one is gonna
That
be
is just
hard.
a crazy record he's got there. But I mean, he'll be hoping to set one and kick things off well on Haven Island. If you want to take our first spin here.
Yeah, we have Tyson Williams shotgun as the lifeguard, Scalpel as the personal trainer for Stephen Bradley, and Fiberwire as the bodyguard for Ludmilla. So nothing crazy going on here,
Surprise.
which would be good for if you're going for the standard stuff, and TimeCube just right in along with DaniButa. Not much planning needed here. Just go for the usual Villa staff start.
TimeCube significantly longer loads as well. VAR RNG maps today. That could be a significant factor in them. But yeah, both players very quick plans. They had that Villa staff, the crowbar, breacher, and Seeker already in their own tree. They just had to swap out that stash for a silent shotgun. So both players ain't very good. No, see, I think maybe the disguises. You could have argued maybe a personal trainer start, perhaps, if you really wanted to. But I mean, Haven. This is for the staff ISO, the cinema ISO, and the Seekers onto both Tyson and Lemire.
Yeah,
You get the bodyguard. It is very good for it, The Scalpel, of course, very close to where Bradley's sick as well. Like, it's not the hardest payment spins, is it? Tyson's always a funny approach. So to say, but I'm sure both players can approach that well. Danny, we used to breach down to the cinema screen, swapping into the bodyguard disguise now. Of course, needs that for the Lemire kill. So I mean, yeah, I wouldn't suspect we'll see anything different at the moment from the players. It might just be how they approach Bradley and Lemire kill. It could perhaps be slightly different if they knock out Bradley and then go and kill Lemire and come back for that Steven kill, or actually kill Bradley then go for that Lemire kill, or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean you have plenty of time for the Ludmilla kill. It's almost 7 minutes till she's still there in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then you seeker her and you get another 60 seconds. But yeah, approaches are the same. Danny has green guns. TimeCube got spotted by Tyson. Not a problem, but again, it's like you get if you're green gun or not, and something happens here, you won't be able to tell.
Yeah, I always get a sharp pain right from my stomach when I just kill Bradley or something, but I've got red guns from Tyson. That's like, oh wait, what? I've got red guns? Oh yeah. It takes a second realization to realize it's Tyson, but shouldn't affect either of them here. Grab their shot. Interesting enough, Danny does not just grab his shotgun yet. We'll keep it at his stash at the moment, I would think, or leaves it by Tyson now. I don't know. Because the blue check mark ain't on the map, so it would suggest that he's already taken it. and left it there, which would be better in the long run here. TimeCube will just leave it there. As well, at the bottom of the cinema, so we'll have to transport that up as the lifeguard, but again, ain't exactly the hardest thing. Doing a bit of extraction onto the resort guard there. Danny now, roughly, literally identical in-game times here, and the difference already. Danny getting Steven sick. TimeCube just approaching the pool area now, so they're not that far apart, but I mean, with these two calibers of player, they shouldn't rip much, and if it's the first try from both Danny's, got the apparent lead here, and it's very close and interesting. We love close and interesting matches, and this is certainly going to be one of them here. Danny just working on that Bradley isolation, and the personal trainer disguise is always a bit underlooked. It can actually be a pain to grab sometimes, but if you get him on the right cycles on that, can be the opposite, and Danny will collect the free fibre wire there in the medic cabin.
Yeah, definitely the PT is going to be the determining factor for this spin. There's nothing else that everything else is standard. Speaking of standard time cubes, Seeker Shot was even more standard than Danny's because he took that one a little early.
I love this from
Oh,
TimeCube.
pistol shot.
I remember seeing Red Fox do this. You can actually shoot the laundry basket down here or something in that laundry room, and it will bring down the personal trainer. He will hear it through that gap up through the laundry chute, and he will actually investigate it. I thought it was one of the best things I've ever seen, but of course it is very cycle dependent. He can't do it directly now, but I mean, if he waits a little bit, he can, and has a banana he could use, and yeah, this is what he will do here. Lovely shot, but Danny, an even quicker grab. He's left his bodyguard down by Bradley. Will swap into the personal trainer here. Gets a lovely lure off. And the use of the banana there. So Danny's going to have this Bradley kill, and then can work on the Lemire kill almost instantly afterwards. So, I mean, Danny's gone with almost... It's not even risky, you know. It's not even risky at all. We'll knock out this lifeguard. To grab the scalpel, in terms of the two approaches for this disguise, Danny's definitely got the better end of it here because he's similar game times again. But we can't remember. I was saying TimeCube might actually get the kill first as well. It's crazy. Danny had to open up doors. He didn't actually open it himself, which is a mistake there. But TimeCube would actually nab this kill first. Look, Danny's starting to try and do lots of knocking around, and that will now get the kill. But I mean, TimeCube's come back here. The lure was quicker from it, ended up being quicker the way Danny wasted a bit of time there on the Bradley kill, and it's just going to be a lot of work now for Lemire.
Plenty of time to get there too, so this is where the separation happens because you still got to get the lifeguard, and then let's see. I guess it's still not that much. Might be just outside of photo finish window though.
Yeah, Danny, of course, the easier just knock out and box the lifeguard. TimeCube going with a longer one, perhaps. I don't know. You do get a bit of whoosh when you do box the lifeguard sometimes. If it is a mistake that everyone can make, especially after the Lemire kill when you're going to be 7.5 minutes in. You don't crouch while taking the disguise. You get insta ripped from the two lifeguards outside. The amount of times that's happened. TimeCube's going with something a little bit safer there, but Danny has Lemire sig. We'll be coming downstairs here, the bathroom. It's doing a throw session here. I would suppose that is for the NPC that cycles in and out here. TimeCube at the 550 mark does get Lemire sick.
Yeah, so it's gonna get rid of the hand washer as he's just approaching.
Yeah, no worries whatsoever here for Danny. Lemire coming down the stairs here, and TimeCube as well. Also,
Yeah,
knock out the
exact
hand
same
washer.
thing.
Literally, this is
So little quick because he's behind on the IGT, which not behind at all on the strategy.
yeah. Does give them free leisure here to knock out Lemire's guard and Garrett Lemire there. So Danny with 2 kills down. I'm sure TimeCube will have this second kill down shortly as well. Danny will run across back to the personal trainer here, and nobody's left out downstairs, I would hope, because I actually don't know where people naked bodies run on Haven. The laundry room would make sense, but again, it's you never know.
Should be the nearest closet, maybe where the lifeguard was.
Oh yeah. does
So
swap
yeah, he
into
could
it.
just show up right next to Danny actually.
Hmm.
But he's gonna be out of there even before that happens.
Yeah, my one main concern for Danny was where he left Steven. I think it's still time to get the kill in the cubicle itself, or vice versa there, but shouldn't be much of an issue. Danny can't get through that little security checkpoint there, so have to hop around it. He won't actually go the quicker way past the security hut there, and will actually just run all the way around the resort here to the entrance of the villa. I'm sure he'll just hop up and over the fence, and then it's
Yeah.
probably the hardest part about the spin would be next, wouldn't it? Actually getting up to Tyson does have its difficulties in that, so it'll be interesting to see the approach there. TimeCube.
TimeCube will take the shorter route, so this could buy him some
Yeah,
time to catch up. Both players approaching the last kill now.
just depends where they've left their shotgun.
And there's Danny leaving a shotgun outside, which would be really crucial. Where's TimeCubes? I saw his briefcase
Oh,
early.
Danny
Oh no.
spotted dropping the shotgun, I would imagine. That's why it was the insta combat. Had it up and did drop it, not placing it back into
Yeah.
the briefcase. TimeCube picking it up. His shotgun up here. That is very unlucky for Danny there. I mean,
Yeah, that's TimeCube left it on the other side of the wall, which is arguably the better option, and it's proven now. So
yeah,
he
that
really
is
just
such unfortunate.
has to complete the spin, and you do expect that off of TimeCube. Doesn't make mistakes.
No, not at all. And
Oh, how close it would have been.
oh,
Oh,
but
but
hunted
oh no!
himself. Oh my
That's the
days.
large weapon climbing. You can't expect that to overwork. You get any amount of suspicion meter, they'll just find you as soon as you vault. Oh, that's
That
Haven.
is.
That's one thing that has and probably will never be fixed. The extended line of vision.
So yeah, the slight lead back in Danny's hand. Oh, how we love Haven Island.
Oh
Did say
man,
about that being the hardest part of the
just
spins. It's demonstrated,
it's
hasn't
really
it?
it's really not over until it's over. It
It's,
was
it really is interesting the approach here for these large weapon kills, because he sort of feigning when he played Throat. He destroyed the cinema screen. He threw the hatch up to of course transport it up there. And trespassing the skies, and the guard that investigated turned around and he saw Tyson through the crack in the window there.
yeah.
So
That
it's
that
just
wall is not safe after you take out the cinema screen. It's like
exactly, and that's why on Haven I'm just a fan of not taking out the cinema screen until you get there. But I mean, look, two very unlucky rips from both players, and wow, it's
yeah,
just
I mean, I think TimeCube probably played it safer. It's just unlucky with that vision cone, because sometimes you get
ooh, another
nothing.
rip there for
TimeCube
TimeCube.
gets a bit too quick there. The bodyguard is an enforcer, so that now the lead extends for Danny. Was like a 40-second, now it's a minute 40.
Yeah, I think you had a 40-second lead, and the pair strats there. Even with a 40-second lead, Danny should have that comfortably, and it's just cemented it now. TimeCube will still need Danny to rip at some stage if he wants to win this map. Could perhaps force a third finish, and I know from my experience against TimeCube, he does have quite long nose for PC players at least. But I mean, we've got a very good first map on our hands here. We've had restarts on both ends of the spectrum there for both players on different ends of the wall. I would like to see the change up from them if they do opt to change anything different. Like Danny could just opt to keep the shotgun in the briefcase and then hop up, take it out, and then go over the wall. Like little things like that that will be in the back of his mind as he will.
Yeah, and Danny is so ahead. He could just walk up the stairs and leave it in that room, and still be fine. Look at how he's a little slower than last time, but still way ahead for Steven.
Yeah,
And he was way ahead of Milla too.
he is just going to keep the shotgun on him for the meantime. TimeCube ripped in his last run, like 40 seconds in. The bodyguard, of course, enforces the Villa Star. So after he not had the Villa Guard, he just swapped into it again. Nice little differences. Waiting anyways, that's all fine. But I mean, both players looking now just try and get this run down solidly. TimeCube, from what the in-game time suggests, does spend more time in the Villa and on the Tyson isolation, but Danny is so efficient with his time here. He's just always doing things even on these big maps, 3 targets spread out, he's always had something to do. He's always running around doing something. He's not aimlessly just running across the map. Here's he will look for the personal trainer disguise. I think he's a bit quicker this time, so we'll go with the gold coin lure. Or no, gets another great cycle there. We'll actually just swap into him plainly. Out in the open, you get that nice cycle there where he's just in the middle of nowhere. You can trank him, sedative syringe him, banana him, whatever, and you're all safe. Danny demonstrated that perfectly. Does still need the scalpel, of course, so we'll knock out the lifeguard here. Stays crouched and we'll box him. TimeCube with a bullet impact onto the resort of security there. But yeah, Danny does get the kill onto Bradley, and just that Lumia kill. Up next, we'll be raining around a little bit. She will be coming up the stairs now, around this mark. But I mean, the rip hasn't got to him yet, it seems, and he's just playing as he did in his last run. Safe and quick. It's just what Danny does.
Yeah, I mean the only not safe part was the part that cost him. So I'm sure that's like the only thing he'll be thinking to correct. Everything else was just perfect.
Yeah, and his rip, man. When you're standing in grass, you're thinking concealed. You've got a guard coming towards you and a big weapon in your hand. Your first instinct is just to drop the weapon, and it nearly worked out.
Yeah, and those are checkpoint guards, so they don't even think about it. Not that it really matters.
Yeah.
It's just instantly combat. Yeah, that bush can be a tricky one. And again, Danny, it's actually even more ahead this time somehow. It was really efficient with but it's because of the PT getting it that early.
He's been ever so quicker here. We'll get the Mia sick, and nothing wrong with his approach at all here for the Miller. Nothing wrong with his previous run. It's just that little bit afterwards getting into the villa, which you will opt to do next. Now, both players different rips. I mean, Danny could easily have the rip we saw from TimeCube. Of course, he didn't get that far to experience that. I'm sure we'll see something different from TimeCube if we do get there. But I mean,
there's a problem here for TimeCube. He's tried to do the radio clock for the lifeguard, but he saw the weapon guard, Bradley's guard's weapon, and he's gonna go report that. So that's a delay.
Yes,
that could be a really, really costly one.
Should still be fine for Mia. Does get a knockout onto Bradley. I mean, he waited around a little bit last time for the personal trainer as well. For that lure to happen, that he's coming down here.
So where is he going?
NPCs everywhere.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a lovely grab here. Nearly
there we go.
Knocks him out a bit too early there, but he's all fine. Swaps into his disguise, no problem. We'll get the kill off onto Bradley as Danny does get the kill onto Lumia. So TimeCube with a bit of catch-up work here, but I mean, he can't go any quicker. You have to wait a little bit here for Lumia. And just interesting, Danny did place down the breach on the cinema screen in his run before he left and did detonate, I'm pretty sure. TimeCube still has it in his inventory, so even if he does opt to throw the briefcase up, he won't have that risk of ripping through the wall hack in the cinema screen or the glass even. Danny still with shotgun in hand, has the lifeguard disguise, just has to approach this Tyson kill once more. Of course, where he ripped last time. We'll be hoping for a different outcome on this run.
Might be taking the shorter route this time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he does.
So should be the bush problem solved with that.
Yeah, because he went round the long way, didn't he, and through the bushes there. We'll take out a shotgun now.
Yeah, because it's closer to the guard, and he also picks up a shotgun ahead of time, which, like you said, you can vault over. As long as 47 doesn't grab and hold on to walls, he can keep the items, the large items, in his hand.
Does that so standard. Throw distraction there for the Vida guard, leaning over the railing. Right, this is the pivotal part.
A little bit of suspicion meter, but nothing else. This is looking quiet. Let's see. As soon as he vaults in, that's when you find out. He looks good.
Is all good. Gets the Tyson kill off, all fine. cinema screen already open, swaps into the Villigard. Will just be a short run to the motorboat or the aeroplane. Either or, it should be Danny here taking TimeCube's map. The first map, Haven, taking a very nice 2-0 lead. After resets in both, Danny came through quicker on his second attempt with an in-game time of 8:31. Danny will take the first map here.
Almost 2 whole attempts from Danny. His finish button covers almost all of his titles.
Yeah, he's that good
But yeah,
that not even his titles are longer than the finish. But Sapienza is our second map here, picked by DaniButa. TimeCube will be hoping to bounce back on it. Everyone loves Sapienza. There's no such thing as a Sapienza hater. I mean, it's just a nice map, isn't it? Sapienza, lots of disguises, 2 targets,
it's a really
good vibes.
standard thing map too. Just so simple now at this point for roulette. But
Yeah, it's basically
that also makes it scary because you make a mistake and it's basically over.
Yeah, indeed. It is literally you get Franny at 2, Franny perhaps quicker if you wanted to shoot the observatory panel for Silvio and Bam, you sorted. And then I think what's make it's just so many disguises on Sapienza. It does make it nice. In that regard. But it's gonna be an interesting map for sure. Both players will be quick with their spin. I'm very certain. No matter what it is, like we saw in the Haven, they'll try and go quickly and safely, of course. Just depends if we get the better outcome. We'll see the stats come through shortly on the map. Can just say it now, this was TimeCube's first ever map he did play in an RR setting against Crudy, which of course now we can see he did win, but as expected, Danny has a bit more experience on this map. He's played here 10 times. Pretty good win rate as well. 8 wins and 2 losses, and so in fact he's got a lot of experience on it in this year as well. He's played it 7 times this year, losing it only once. He's currently on a 5 map win streak on Sapienza, beating Igor, Effie, Infa, Blythe and Red Fox in his previous 5 attempts, so he's got a lot of Sapienza experience there.
One of his top picked maps, I think it will be his third after the stats get updated. 7 and 7 in Whittleton Creek. Sapienza will probably go up to 6. So definitely a favorite.
Yeah, and
Let's see how
Oh,
TimeCube does.
I'd like to see
Yes,
something with Lockdown Survey, wouldn't you? Be great. But I think it's just a little mess around before it starts. TimeCube does exit Haven. Nice. It does have a slightly longer in-game time there for Danny, so even if they didn't have them initial rips they had, I'm sure Danny would have had it anyways. But focus turns to Sapienza. I don't think it is much concern for TimeCube though at this stage. He has had 4 games in the KO stages. 3 of them went to a decider, so he's very capable of coming back in tough situations. Of course, is always good in them pressure moments. Of course, when you've had 3 deciders and you've won all 3, you've got to be pretty good at holding your nerve there. And they've all been close as well, so we just be hoping. Just to take Sapienza here, you've got quick maps coming up in the RNG pool. You don't want to be going into them knowing if you lose this map, you lose. And I'm sure he just want to take the Sapienza so that on the next map he can lose it and not go down into the lower bracket final just yet. Just wants to win and retain some nerves going into our RNG maps. But I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting quick spin on the Sapienza. Can have his long ones, but you wouldn't say there's. I'm going to say some regret instantly. There's no such thing as a hard Sapienza spin. Would you agree? They're normally doable within reason. They can be long, but of course you do have your longer kill conditions. The cleaver. Oh, if I see the cleaver, I'm just gonna leave. Don't want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think there is. I mean, with the standard stuff, obviously, if you try to rush it, there is a way you can ruin it. There are some rush points in the strat now. You can rush Franny early. You can kind of try to do Silvio first. And things can go wrong when you do those things.
Definitely, indeed. And I like to see
Like
some form of lab technician. I think
I
Misha found
watched
some.
back my run, and somebody was like, "Just gun flash and go poke," and it works every time until it doesn't. In the last map, potentially staying alive, and you don't want to do it.
Yeah, it works until you're in a game, and then I decide something different.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Like I said, Florida Man has never teleported for me for over 2 years until I had to play TimeCube.
And well, we've got our spin. Oh, and it's a beautiful one. Silvio Caruso, old
Oh
axe
my.
as a street performer. Franny DeSantis, sniper rifle as the red plumber, so it is
That's
a morgue start here.
that's a hand curated sprint by 47. That's a nice one. That's old axe as a street performer. Red plumber, who's also far away. So yeah, two large weapons. One of them concealable in a briefcase, but like luckily sniper rifle kind of makes it easy, so you don't have to bring an EMP and get some
Yeah,
versatility with door opening and virus shooting.
I mean, it is a lovely spin. Of course, in Red Fox fashion, you can like do some sort of body shot and transport the old axe over. If one of them goes for it, huge respects. But I mean, you're just gonna want this K to safe. You're gonna want to kill Franny straight away. So you go with this red plumber first. You go with Mario first here. If you
Yeah,
can take the old
definitely.
axe across, great. But you
I
gotta go
don't think
back
you
for street
want to
performer.
spend time doing that because that's gonna cost a little bit of extra time. You can get to Francesca's timing with pretty much the farthest disguise, but you kind of have to book it for like Priest and Mario and stuff like that.
Yeah. And even then, you
Bit of
gotta come
a
back for street
miss
performer, aren't you?
planning from TimeCube, a replan to the church, so that will put Danny ahead by 40 seconds.
By 40 seconds. What's your in-game time for Danny then? Oh god. Give Danny another quick refresh.
Yeah, Danny's gonna run straight for his sniper and then Francesca.
Yeah, I mean it does. Does make sense. You can leave Francesca up, but you always run slight risk.
TimeCube will bring the old axe a little bit as soon as he vaults down. He drops it though, so that's a bit of a... Okay, throws it. Pulls out the sniper too.
He's got a body shot. Oh yes, TimeCube. Go red for. Oh, he's gonna leave his sniper though. I don't think he wanted us to do that. No, he will immediately climb back up. We'll just have an old axe in hand, sniper rifle on back, and book his way across here. Danny slight whoosh there from Chef Marshall. This is gonna be great. I mean, he's dodging enforcers left, right, and centre. He's still dodging them. There is one enforcer left to get past.
Oh, and he turned the
Turns
other way
around and gets
too,
caught
and
back. Oh,
and loses
time
to
cube.
enforcer. Nice.
Gets through. I mean, he still has to get
This
into
is
the mansion. He will just leave the old axe there by the doors in a slight throw. It is. Hopefully that is just in a retrievable position. It looks like it is, but well, that's a lot of time saved there for TimeCube. It's quite a bit.
a
Of time
lot,
saved.
definitely. That puts him really close, even maybe ahead of Danny.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
have to see
100%.
what the next part of the spin is, which is the next disguise isn't really that straightforward either. So you have to go.
Yeah, but there's 20
Move to
seconds
street
difference in their in-game time here. But I mean, TimeCubes have to book it here to Franny. But I mean, I'm sure you can. But it's going to take the 20 second gap between their in-game time. It's going to take a little bit longer than that for Danny to get from with street performer to the old etc. As he does get that kill onto Franny. Will immediately box at a TimeCube. You just have to be quick here. Just have to be a bit quick. The 2:20 mark only climbing up the pipe now.
Should be still fine. He has still 245.
He can always knock out her guard if needs be. If all else fails, but he should be fine just to run in. Oh, guard only moving now. Yeah, definitely has this. As Danny will get an isolation off onto Silvio, one trank onto his guard, a KO onto the other, then a crowbar, lovely piece of metal right into Silvio's skull, and another one will be put in there shortly with the old axe, but TimeCube with the Franny kill. The old axe close by for Silvio. Just needs that street performer pretty much. The old axe so close to the mansion. He has no worries about needing a security disguise, as Danny will go and shoot the virus now, it would seem. But there's no sniper rifle. He does drop it. That is interesting. He's realised. He's gone, oh no, I ain't got my sniper. Back up I go. But does he? Yeah, he will. I mean, there is a free pistol up there. I'm just saying, there is a Bartoli up there that you could just shoot it with if you really wanted to. No, but we'll just retrieve a sniper there.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing for the final. Do you want to take the shot with the Bartoli? I don't think so.
I would. But again, we're different players, aren't we? We've seen plenty of
Right.
different approaches. And this is why I got knocked out in round 2, guys. But yeah, Danny, we got box off and we'll snipe the Ryers. So I mean, we will be further ahead than TimeCube in terms of objectives and targets. But I mean, TimeCube, the old axe, so close. We'll pick up the free key card there to get in and out of the mansion. Where's the old axe? Oh, look at it, beautiful, right there. Oh, can he pick it up? Imagine he can't pick it up, but he can. It's all fine.
That's
No
so
worries.
interesting.
Imagine all that effort just to not be able to pick it up would have just peaked this game. But it has a method device here for the street performer.
Sadly, the game doesn't have a mechanic where an item, if it's out of bound, it gets automatically pushed closest to the playable area. That would be a nice feature to have.
Oh, it'd be beautiful. But no, boosting is the more important thing in this game, apparently. TimeCube with the street performer sick. Definitely making lots of progress here. Danny only now going into the old axe. That lead from TimeCube really is kicking in. You know, he can't have that street performer immediately just gets to.
Oh, Danny also has red guns. Not sure if he got clipped by that camera there either.
Yeah, and he's also the fact that he's taken out the virus. It's just going to be an inconvenience to go back down there. Unless he goes down there for the exit. But I mean, if you're taking out the virus now, it does show signs just to go to the car exit. But yeah, but if he does have them camera issues,
it's an interesting decision to go for the virus because you're gonna go down there for the exit seaplane anyway. Just guessing that's the plan here for TimeCube.
Yeah, indeed. Has the old axe as the street performer. It's difference in in-game times, but not that difference.
Now you can see the lead really kicking in. Like
okay, so Danny's going to leave the old axe there. Now that's going to be interesting to see how he gets that back up to Silvio, considering the fact that he won't be able to take it up the pipe. And the only ways around that are just from forces, so that's going to be great, isn't it? See how he approaches that.
He's probably going to toss it from the stairs to the cliff where you jump off of. And since the guard's not there, no one's going to be a problem. Oh, TimeCube getting a bit of a problem with the chef.
Yep. Not what he would have wanted here. It's might knock out one. He's forgetting his ult. You need that axe, mate. He will pick it back up. Runs out. A bit of wish from the
Luckily,
assistants
good timing with the kitchen assistants.
And in a good old Hitman fashion, there's another NPC waiting. Please realise him, TimeCube. And he does. Not switching off here. We'll just wait for him to turn around, which he eventually does do. Patiently does it. Gets into the observatory, will shut the door, gets the kill on Silvio, who has left the sniper on the stairs, of course. We'll pick it back up. Just needs to snipe the Ryer. So what an insane run this is from TimeCube. Danny only now grabbing the street performer. But I mean, TimeCube, a huge lead here, making his way into the caves now. We'll just do a distraction onto the Biolab security. Won't even be phased to knock him out. We'll line up his crosshairs onto the Ryrus. We'll shoot it. We'll get this trank out. Do the quick drop down. TimeCube will tie things up here on Sapienza. Danny running up the stairs, trying to get to Silvio in time. But I mean, what a strat and run that was from TimeCube. Absolutely amazing run from him.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do to beat that when you have that efficiency with the two large weapons.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't do that much quicker, could you? The way he just body shot and bam, you ran across. All good, and look, he's going to have at least a minute and 20-second better in game time than Danny, and to have that over Danny on a map like Sapienza, that Danny is so well practiced and good on, take your hats off to TimeCube, obviously practicing everything, and obviously showing through over that Sapienza. I think we'll just wait out the photo finish window, which should be ending anytime soon. Danny could force something here, but no. It will go to the TimeCube as a result there, and oh my god, what a map 3. So we no bias whatsoever in this map 3, none at all. None at all. Dartmoor is our map 3.
You already say a lot of things, but I guess I can mute myself for this one.
Oh yeah, the spin will
Yeah.
come and I'll be all over it. Well, another map, of course, TimeCube being a rookie, he's played lots of map once, like Sapienza. He won it, but Dartmoor, he's also played it once, but he's lost it, and that was to your hands, Punky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a
And
photographer's
that
spin.
spreadsheet came in handy because that's like the only thing I tried from the spreadsheet, and that's what showed up.
That's great. Great to hear and look. Another map that, I mean, Danny's going to have, I'm going to say this every single map, but Danny's got more experience on it, of course he will.
But it's a quick map, so can give Danny the advantage because there isn't that much of those optimization you might have to make with the whole, axe and sniper because you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
already ran all the spins and put it on the spreadsheet, so it's just like, oh, this is what you need. Pull out the file and then
Yep.
just do it and run it.
I'd love to see Hatchet PI or something just for a Hatchet launch. I mean, I have put in that spreadsheet because if you don't know the Hatchet launch, then wow, why don't you? But yeah, it's going to be a very quick map, of course. TimeCube has messaged me about Dartmoor. He's asked about things, so he has been looking at the sheet. It's always good to hear. So you can't underrate him. Look, he's lining up for that fast forward strat here. I'm going to. I'm so excited. I've never been so excited for a map in my life. The big stage, and we've got Dartmoor. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Haven, Sapienza.
it's a it's a good time to win this one too. We'll put you on match point.
Oh
So
yeah, especially.
it's this could essentially be the decider map. Whoever wins this might have the momentum enough to push it through.
Yeah, indeed. And it's
And
going to be
and
that.
and Danny hasn't had a single match go more than 6-2, so
I mean,
it's gonna have to be a comeback if he loses.
he's played it 8 times in RR, but he's only played it 3 times this entire year. So 5 of them Dartmoors were played in RRWC last year. So he's been on both ends. He's beaten Jotes and Throat. Did lose to Pidgey, but I mean, it's hard to beat Dartmoor. It's hard to beat Pidgey on Dartmoor. But yeah, it's just that he hasn't had a lot of experience on Dartmoor, but you don't need much. Of course, the more you have, the better you can just look at the spin, go, okay, I need to do this, swap to that loadout and load in, and bam, you just muscle memory kicks in and you're running and do the spin. Shows that with the map record. I don't try and mean anything, but it's 127, and that can be improved. That Joe said he didn't. He technically didn't, Jokes, but I mean on RR stats, it does say so. But yeah, that record 127 it can still be improved upon. Both players. Interesting line up for this fast forward strat here. So I'd love to see a PI spin stuff to just frantically change their inventory. Again, a suit spin would heavily suit this. Be very interesting to see what comes in 15 seconds. I'm excited as ever. But it's come back round to your turn to take this spin when it comes, Punk.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm sure you wanted to say it.
Nice. It's 3 words at max, so it's all fine.
Oh, cool. We have Alexa Carlisle, Loud Shotgun as the mansion guard.
Yeah, it's all great. You
Those
just have to change up
forwards.
one thing. All you have to do is change this good thing about this strat. We see it from both straight away. Change up the loud shotgun, and bam, you're in. It's great. The managing guard, arguably
Yep,
actually.
and there's DaniButa with the quick planning and run the spreadsheet.
I would have to say, in terms of loud kills for Alexa, managing guard is the hardest one. I'd have to say, purely because that them 2 enforcers by her section, you're gonna want to save a key, a trank for him after getting that
Yeah.
Alexa kill. Of course, you want to gun flash Alexa's guard, so you can get the loud kill off. But then again, if you but you just gotta have the trank spare to actually trank. Alexa's guard will probably see that from Danny. Both players run at 2 FPS. It's always great when that happens. Going at negative speed. Thank you very much, Twitch. We've missed half the spin now for them. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, very standard stuff.
Yeah, just standard Joker J stuff, basically. Not everybody plays like this. So you might have to if you want to be
TimeCube
relevant.
going with actually a different approach. He goes for Rebecca first, so he's gonna be going for Alexa.
This is the trouble that I had with Rebecca a lot when I was trying this. And when
Yeah.
she's on her phone, she turns left and
Does
right,
happen.
and if she's looking right, she will see you.
But he does get the token no matter what here. But I think with the TimeCube strat here, Seeker and Alexa Ray does. He doesn't actually have a mansion guard yet, so, and the crowbar actually just says she will be going for that 3-1 here. Danny will get a trank off onto Alexa's guard there. I'm assuming he already has the Hurst
What a
keys.
shot.
We'll just shotgun her and we'll box her. Of course, not a necessity if you should run straight to the exit. Doesn't matter, he will hop out. Force the run, he will just launch trank. Will miss it. That's going to be very interesting. He ain't moving, so you just have to run to the exit. You can run and just tap the exit if you wanted to. Trank will come down. He will actually just gun click this guard. That's great from Danny. We'll have to wait a little bit longer, but I think with TimeCube strat here, Danny definitely has it. I love the loud kills with the fast forward strat. It's great to see how other people approach it. But
no record here, but Danny takes the lead. And again, that's what I said. That's what I sort of expected with the quick maps. No hesitation start from Danny.
Yeah, indeed. And a bit of experience there from Danny, that gun click that he did. We saw it from Nezuko. Not Nezuko. Kanata, when he played Nezuko on Dartmoor. It's very interesting to see the different approaches if people do mess up. It does just show the experience there from Danny who will weigh out the photo finish window, but I don't think TimeCube will have enough loads here to catch up. The very big photo finish gap it will be what, a 16-second gap in terms of in-game time, but Danny was in straight away, you know. He was in straight away. TimeCube did plan for a little bit longer. And a slow Dartmoor is 2 minutes 15 in-game time. It's crazy. It's crazy to have a map like that. But yeah, it's just very good from Danny. He was in straight away, knew what to do. Mr. Trank onto the gun. The exit could have been a bit quicker there, but he handled it very
42
well.
seconds. That's a map. That's a whole map in between them. That's the quick planning. I mean, again, IGT only 16 seconds of difference. So yeah, almost a 30-second quick planning from Danny.
I think this is the first time TimeCube has said a message during the game, and it is to wave the photo finish. But yeah, that is Dartmoor, and we don't have maps like that particularly in RR where the planning counts so much. On this map in New York and Dubai, to some extent, it does count so much. And well, we've gone from one end of the spectrum on my favourite maps to the other end. Mendoza is our second map. I'll now mute my mic for this map. Bye bye, guys. But no.
Yeah, that's good.
TimeCube will be hoping to try and grab this map back. Of course, I mean, Danny's a favourite, as he is in all of his games. Somehow the lad's 15 and he just kills everyone. He might carry on the streak of just winning 6-2, making for people feel like they have a chance. But he's going to want to take the win now while he can. Of course, the map that's up next is the map 5. I don't want to spoil it just yet, but you don't want to have that as a decider. And you just want to take this Mendoza here.
You don't, and also you don't if you're playing against Danny. I'll say that much.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want.
Especially after coming off of that Dartmoor.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be in the back of.
But I mean, running Dartmoor, what I realize, it's like Dartmoor has a lot more dimensions than New York in terms of like which strat you want to choose, and you have to do that really fast.
Yeah, they're going fun.
At least that's how I found out.
Dartmoor is better. There you go. In fun's crying.
I didn't say better.
Yeah, it's better. Moulding right now, isn't he? But no.
Sure, whatever.
Just preference. Buff prefers New York, so that's obviously just the good players. The better players.
I don't know if I prefer New York anymore after if you go back and watch my last match.
Oh, that was
things that works for everybody doesn't work for me anymore. I have a
unique game copy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And we have to check TimeCube's game copy after that Sapienza, don't we? Jesus Christ, well that was. But I mean, he'd be hoping to replicate something on this. Of course, in the attic of Mendoza there is probably an old axe, because what is not up there? So many lethal melees up there. That he'll just be hoping to try and do something here. I'd love to see Mendoza in a world where that first point is patched. You know, just be able to. It might just opt for actually just to try and start the Nemetic tomorrow. Still be as linear as anything, but there is some.
I mean, you can just go under and over. It would just be
slower.
40 seconds slower. That's it.
There
nothing
is
really would change that much. I
some
don't think.
variation. We saw with memes video he released. Feels like an age ago he released that now. But it does help. I watched the memes video and I do have a wider open nose to Mendoza. I still have not used the strats, but I mean, it's good to have them there in the case that you do get some of the few spins that will work for, and actually maybe it's not optimal just to start waiter, bubblegum tomorrow, and go and kill Dom. I'll be hoping for a spin where it's not like that. You know, perhaps something like Pistol Tamara Suit, where it is viable just to start default and snail off everyone. Just pop Tamara in the head. I mean, something like that where it could be interesting.
Yeah, I guess that's like one of the new things. Very interesting. Like just get tomorrow right away.
Yeah, just using the mechanic that Tamara and Don aren't targets for the first 15 seconds of the map. Being able to snail Tamara off without getting red guns, of course, she ain't a target, she's a normal NPC. So it's great as well if you kill her without her highlighted. You get red guns, of course, it's a non-target kill. And when she becomes a target, you don't get your green guns back. It's fantastic. When I was a new player, I was like, what's happening? But yeah, Mendoza it's gonna be interesting. I want to say both players I hope will go for different strats. Although I am digging deep in that phrase that I want different strats on a map like Doza, but you never know. We saw something different from both from Sapienza. TimeCube decided just to take his old axe across the map right away. Hopefully we see the same here. Spin is counting down. Quick look at their past performances here. Danny was on a nice little streak on Mendoza. He won his 4 Mendozas in a row. But then had Chromex in his group, which does mean you've lost Mendoza. So, what's else? And I mean, TimeCube has a different approach here. He beat Horsch in the group stage, but he did lose to you as well. It's another map that TimeCube has lost to GK Punk, and if the pattern continues, Danny does beat TimeCube on maps that Punk has also beat him on. Digging deep here, the last spin will arrive, and it will be Don Yates fiber wire suits. Tomorrow, Redoubt explosion accident Gaucho.
That's a
quick
shrine
one.
start.
It's a shrine start.
Yeah,
It is definitely a
you
shrine
were
start.
talking about it, so it's a shrine start and a free kill for tomorrow.
Recce,
And
perhaps.
after the drive-by, you can probably
Are we
4
going
minutes. I don't know. Might just be slightly out of it.
That far? Yeah, maybe with the drive-by tomorrow. Tango exit. Who knows? Of course, Doza is limited with its propanes, and the shrine is one where it's like 1 of 3 propanes are. It's the only real
So you want
optimal
to
one
grab that
anyways.
one, or you have to go to the theater.
Danny will just throw it up there. Misses the throw. Lol, that's a huge skill issue right there.
That throw is annoying though.
Yeah, it is really.
Gets it this time.
Nope, it falls back down. He
Nope,
can't pick it back up either.
exactly.
He will just opt to leave. No, he ain't gonna deal with it. No, it's not his issue. He's gonna leave it down there. Come back to it later. It's literally a propane difference. Am I right? Will knock out Valentina. TimeCube does manage to throw out the propane. Showing Danny how it's done. Again, it shouldn't be much difference. And where they leave the propane, but on perhaps a quick spin like this, it could be. There's a Danny, lots of whoosh there on a Don live kill. Not what you would want there. Just go and limit him a little bit there. We'll wait. Oh my god, Danny's playing with a bit of fire here. Just be patient and wait.
Don's not in a good position either. It's just right by the foot of the bed, so he has to wait.
With,
No problem
GLBs.
at all for TimeCube. Both getting the 5-hour kill at the same time, but Danny 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, both players now distractions onto the mercenaries. I'm not happy with that Dom placement at all from TimeCube. I think there is a slight risk he could run.
Yeah, guess we'll find out as soon as
It is
he
all
gets
fine.
arrived.
47.
He's all right.
Body does.
He's
block.
got the.
Wow.
Yep.
And yeah, both players in the mercenary guys don't have to worry about taking out the other one. We'll now run around. Danny goes back to his propane. TimeCube takes it where he left it. Now it's just a run to a Gaucho disguise. I'm sure with the Breacher in Danny's inventory that he's going to drive by, but TimeCube has a remote taser, a Seeker in his inventory, I think. So different Tamara approaches. It's really very interesting indeed. Danny with a throw distraction there for the Gauchos. We'll just knock one out in the lavender fields. Observe how they're so similar. It's because they're playing Mendoza, mate. It's crazy to think about. Danny with a knockout onto the Gaucho in the open, but he gets his green guns. TimeCube will seek it tomorrow, and actually he could just lob the propane in the bathroom, drop the potato, and go and grab that Gaucho. You know, he could go and do that. Of course, there's no necessity here to knock out tomorrow. Could even go and do it now, but Danny is going to with his propane fast try and get a drive onto tomorrow. Now, I don't particularly. I'm not a fan here of where Tamara is. I really ain't. There's
Yeah, with all the enforcers too.
yeah, enforcers, fake NPCs that dive a slight tickle. We might actually go for it, but no, enforcers are scaring him off. TimeCube gets into Valentina's bathroom to knock her out. We'll actually
Just
sell
some
the propane.
separation from Diana. Oh man, the enforcers are really close. So yeah, this is not a good positioning here for Danny at all. And TimeCube has a taser set up, going for the free Gaucho really.
Yeah, has chance
with
to do
the
so as
tank.
well. Would you just run to wine exit here if you're TimeCube? Probably makes sense. That's what he will do. We'll just run down the stairs here. He will detonate now, maybe, or we'll just keep it in his inventory for the meantime. I mean, Danny is gonna have an exit pretty far away. The Tango exit, I'm sure if does allow explosive kill here in terms of the propane. Won't be able to have the Tango exit for quite a bit. And the Gaucho disguise can't get to the car. And the other exit is many miles away, so definitely is in TimeCube's favour here as he will detonate, will kill Tamara. Runs towards the exit. Danny still with issues on that Tamara kill. The drive-by not working out as the TimeCube will exit. We will have the Decider in classic TimeCube fashion here, setting things up nicely for a map 5.
Yeah, and the first time for Danny in this tournament that going past that 6-2 mark, so it will definitely be a 6-4 either way.
Yeah, and well, it's just in typical TimeCube fashion here. He beat me 6-4. He beat you, you beat 6-4. You beat yourself 6-4. So if it repeats itself here, TimeCube wins this map.
He's not even stopping for Danny, so that's definitely a lost cause.
Yeah, that's a note to self. Do not drive by on Mendoza. You know, it's done. But yeah, it's gonna be a good old New York Decider. Can't wait for the arguments to kick out after this. That's a joke, guys. But yeah, it's gonna be a great
I
one.
guess it could end up being a photo finish tie, and then you can see a different map.
Oh yeah. Then we'll see a map that, interesting enough, I won't say what it is, but you can probably guess. It'd be a map that TimeCube has played more in RR than Danny has. And considering the fact that Danny's banned Ambrose, so pretty impressive. No, but yeah, New York will be the focus here. There will be a quick one. TimeCube has played New York again. He's played almost every map. Did lose it, lost it to Sparkles as the one map he lost in that series. The one game he didn't win 6-4. He won 6-2 in New York. Was the map he lost, but Danny. Lots of New York experience there. Is a pretty good New York experience this year. Is played it 5 times this year. Was on a 4-map win streak. You know, he beat Canetta on it in the grand final of RRWC 2021. So he's gonna know New York like the back of his hand. And if Dartmoor repeats itself, which usually could on New York, it's going to be close, it's going to be interesting. Would I like to see a photo finish tie? Yes, is the short answer. I don't think a New York Decider here does these two justice. I really don't. You know, I think these two could play 20 maps each, and they'd win. TimeCube would win 10. Danny would win 10. I think they're that close together, and they've demonstrated throughout today. like Darmel. It's going to be a game where you're in first and you're probably going to win. And both players with the standard setup here. The EMP, the two Tranks. They're on up like a quick spinning, fun watch out. We've had some shouts for Reki this year on New York. It's scraped away. Yourself, sometimes forgetting things like picking up a keycard and things like that. The little things on this map that accumulates huge losses. It's what New York and Dartmoor is. The little things you can just brush over if you forget to do them. Good luck to you.
Or you press the button, but the game doesn't register it.
Oh yeah.
That'll happen.
And you get to exit on a Reki time, I think.
Or the loud corner that everybody gets quiet kills from. It's loud for you.
I mean, hopefully.
But anyways, yeah. Yeah, I definitely hope that doesn't happen. That would just be the game being cruel to everybody. It just only does it to me usually. So, just kidding. But yeah, that would be a really sad way to have this go for the decider.
I would not like to see that at all. And that's what I said. I think
maybe we'll get bank robber or folding knife or something.
Nah, bank robber burial dagger I think would be the more fitting one there. Of course, the fold knife's on the bank robbers, isn't it? Oh no, I don't play New York enough.
It is, but like, are you gonna go and traverse the map on that? No, let's see.
It could be. But yeah, it's gonna be a quick one indeed. And I said like this, and no map would do this justice. I think both players deserve to be in the grand final. Of course, the loser will have a chance to get back into there. Of course, the loser will play the winner of yourself versus Buff. That's happening at a stupid time for Europeans. God damn it. But yeah, certainly gonna be interesting one. I believe it's come back round to you for us to take the possible final spin. Of course, the third finish tie is still an option here.
Yeah, potentially last map for the spot in the grand finals of RRWC 2022 is a loud assault rifle as the IT worker for Athena Savalas. A little bit off of the standard New York stuff, but still you just do the IT strat. And yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to use the corner or play it safe and go in the soundproof room with the door closed.
Yeah, and our observer was right. He said both players looking for an IT worker start smart, and they have. But Danny loads in first. Or he's like got a 5-6 second in-game time lead over the TimeCube when he presses.
Yeah, and with the preload, and you probably want to do that here, unless you're playing against Buff or something, and it still wouldn't matter.
Getting loads taken into account here. The good part about the IT worker spins are the fact that there is a free trank in this room here that you will use for Fabian and perhaps the clear outs. Of course, already taking Matteo's key card. It'd be interesting to see if Danny does pick it up. You need the loud assault rifle. Hopefully the corner works for both here, is what I say. TimeCube does get Matteo's key card. Danny, interesting enough, not going for the free trank that's up for grabs there. Will make the office clear outs and Fabian's knockouts slightly harder. So again, that will be an interesting approach for sure. 100% here. But TimeCube going for neither there. Maybe not confident with grabbing the IT worker, crowbarring or lockpicking open the doors. You go the long way round, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's not gonna. That's a really like. It's kind of like what you saw in Dartmoor, like this really straightforward stuff from Danny, and once he gets spotted here, this is looking even more straightforward. He's gonna go for the manual. As soon as he gets out of the room, he's home free, but he's gotta wait it till this guy.
He's gotta wait it out.
Oh, restart for TimeCube. That's massive.
That is really big for you.
And Danny playing it safe will definitely be rewarded. As soon as he gets out of the door, he's no longer trespassing.
Yeah, replan as well. TimeCube actually does not have a an item to unlock the door with, which is what Danny now swaps out the snail for the lockpick there. Interesting to note. Danny will unpack his loud assault rifle here. I'm assuming he will just throw this briefcase for the bodyguard takeaway. He will do that. So Oh, he has a trank as well, so I actually would assume that he does.
Oh,
He does.
Athena is
Athena.
going for the
Oh
briefcase.
my god, what has
Nice.
happened in this New York? Danny would
You
actually
should
go.
be fine. Just gonna do the usual tranks
Dual
and
tranks, all good.
just
All
a little bit
knockouts.
of dragging potentially. Man, I don't know.
Could get an angle from
Yeah,
the corner.
yeah, he's gonna drag. I don't know if that's because I made everybody paranoid or that's just a plan all along. This is the
GK
safest thing to do.
Punk purposely did the loud shot wrong, so everyone does this
Yes, I
against him.
purposely lost one of my favorite maps
Yeah.
to
To make everyone
for the
paranoid.
betterment of the community.
Yeah. And then when you next play New York, you can do the loud kill, spot the other person, and bam, you're sorted. But Danny just needs one more data disc here. Has a
Let's get the
snail
snail for that.
with Fabian's name written on it. The only thing here that stands between him and that grand final spot, where it's
That enforcer.
Yeah, that
All
one.
right, where is Fabian?
Oh,
There
where
he is.
Fabian?
Okay, so he's in a good spot too. He's not gonna get spotted if he just takes the little maintenance room.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll collect the key card
Yep,
there.
looking good here for Danny. For the second year in a row, he'll be sitting himself in the grand final, defending his championship.
Yeah, and he will get there. No way for time to come back and cycled back round there for Danny, where it started. Where it all started for him in his first tournament, the RRWC21 Grand Final. He is in the RRWC22 Grand Final now. Will face either Buff Guy, the GK Punk, or the TimeCube.
The TimeCube. Oof.
3 people left.
The next match TimeCube plays will be first to 8, I think. So you'll get a little bit of a room, a lot more maps to play.
We've only got one more first to 6 left. What a shame. The maps are only getting longer and longer. I can't wait for TimeCube's 6-8, which is bound to happen. It's the first time TimeCube has now lost a decider. The results coming through. I'm sure the brackets have been updated. Let's take a quick look at them. Of course, DaniButa, the second year back to back, will get in the grand final this time. He's on the top end. He's come through the winners brackets. So, you know, he gets that good old map pick first, then the map ban. The good old benefit there. The lower bracket. Oh, wow. It's great to see a full out bracket, isn't it? It's so good to see. Losers round 7. The Buff Guy versus yourself. The winner of that will play the TimeCube in the lower bracket final. And it all leads up to this Sunday, where the winner of them 3 will play a DaniButa. 2 rookies. 2 returning rivals who will come out on top. Oh, wow. What do you make of today's game, Punk?
It's a thrilling game. It's almost exactly how I expected, at least for maps like Dartmoor and New York.
Yeah.
But the Sapienza from TimeCube was just unbelievable. You don't expect to do that for a spot in the grand finals, but you do. Against Danny, of no less, but it makes sense. We saw Danny do that crazy stuff in New York in the previous roulette rivals. It didn't really work out for him.
Yeah. I don't know what would happen when you've won as like your title if you do manage to win back-to-back RWCs, but it's definitely a very impressive feat. And another thing to note here: this must be the most amount of.
You should just be
map
called
fights.
the undisputed RR champion.
Oh yeah. The Hungarians really might just
I mean,
dominate.
that really is what he's defending there. It's his championship. He's the only RR player to have a regular RR title and the world championship, which is what the final was for. Basically, that exact thing I just said between In4Fun and him. Whoever won that would have had that title, and he took that one from him, and now he wants to do something that will probably be very difficult to do.
Ever.
Which is to win 2 world championships and back-to-back.
Yeah. Then we'll have Danny win it again next year. It'd be great, wouldn't it? But of course, he's just looking to be out of the 3 RWCs. We could have 3 Hungarian champions, which is always the best part. Say quickly.
Yeah, and there's only like 2 players.
Yeah, the 2 Hungarian players we have are arguably the 2 best players in the world. But our upcoming matches, only one scheduled so far. That is in what? 6 hours. 3 AM CET. Stay awake for that one. Buff versus Punk. Haven and Mendoza. Wake me up for map 3. No, I'm joking. It's going to be good. From the start, thank you, Punk, for co-casting with me. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
It's always good to have, and yeah, that's all from us. It's possibly the last time you'll hear my voice for the rest of the RRWC. Everyone's celebrating that. Well done. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Fro, for adding in. Great spins, great matches. Good luck TimeCube in the rest of the bracket. Danny is the first of our grand finalists, RRWC22. Bye bye.